Hello. My name is Aniruddha and I welcome you to my YouTube channel. I'm painting a bird again today. This bird is one called the Spot-Breasted Fantail Flycatcher. This guy is a very common garden bird here in India. There are many species similar to this one, all the way from South Asia to Australia. I think down in Australia and neighboring countries, there's a bird called the willy wagtail who is very closely related to this one. So if you want tips on how to paint any of those birds, you've come to the right place. In today's demo, I am going to stick rather closely to the reference photograph. I've started my process by first putting down plain water and then putting down the color of the light as I see it. The image appears one where the sun may have already set and the light is rather soft. It appears that the cool light is coming from the top and warm light is very low on the horizon. I have no worry about the blue and the yellow merging together. My main worry is maintaining the wetness of my paper and keeping that shape loose and connected. Luckily for me, as I'm painting this in the month of May, the weather in my city right now is very humid, so my paper will stay damp for long. Also, it is a handmade paper, so I have a lot of time to work. Mixing in a little shadow color right now. Just need to make sure that this color is light. There is a tendency to go too dark when putting down a shadow. This is where I'm deviating from the reference. A little cast shadow right now will give my bird some context, keep him grounded. So as the color of the light dries, I'm also putting down some marks where I want the edges to be soft. Soft edges are a nice way to show parts of the subject that are a little bit distant from the viewer. Now I wait for my sheet to dry and then move on to the second layer. I can't help but notice that the dark upper parts on our subject appear to be as if the bird is wearing a rain poncho. Now, one might describe that entire poncho as brown. But look closely and you will see variation even within that marking. And as an artist, it is up to you to exaggerate that variation. So in some places, I will push the blue, I will push the green, and as I get closer to the wing, you will notice that it is a little more rusty in color. So I will push that in the wing section. Another very important feature of subjects like these is the markings and making sure that you get interesting edges as you move from the poncho to the white marking. What I have done here is I have used a very old and wonky flat brush to get the edges I want. Within the poncho marking, there are also variations of value. Where I need further value, I'm charging the wash with some thicker pigment. Especially when painting in the wing, what you need to be mindful of is the direction in which the feathers fold. It would be futile to copy every single feather as seen in the reference image. What you need to do is just create an impression of what you see. For the spots on his breast area, I am using some opaque white watercolor. Sometimes that white does have a tendency to blend too much into the wash, into the dark wash already on the paper. So you do need to come back and check whether it is strong enough, and if not, add a little bit more. I am an unapologetic paper rotator when I am painting. Quite a few fine artists scoff at this. It's a habit I picked up during my time as an industrial designer. It was useful to me back then, and it is equally useful to me today. I need his legs to be darker, so I'm going to add some quick hits of paint there. I try to avoid any details with the leg because I don't want the viewer's attention to go there. Your viewer's attention is most likely to first go on the eyes and the beak. This is where you want to have the maximum amount of detail. You want to keep things simple but accurate. Notice how much my process has slowed down now that I've reached here, and now that I'm using my smallest brushes. I've listed all the materials that I've used in this demo in the description below this video. Also, an FYI, I am a teacher on Skillshare. If you want to access my classes there free of charge, you can find a link for that as well down in the description. In this pose, the bird is staring directly at us, so we can see both his eyes. Double the eyes, double the effort. I have a standard approach when painting eyes. I begin by putting in a simple flat application. Then I come in and lift a little bit of paint from the lower part of the eyeball. And once the entire area is dry, I come in with my super tiny brush and add a little sparkle of white to create a glint in the eye. Let me know down in the comment section what you thought about today's demonstration. Also, please remember to do all the YouTube things. Like, subscribe, share it around. If you enjoyed this video, you will also enjoy the couple of suggestions that have popped up to the right hand side of your screen. As for me, I will see you in the next one.